Hello, everyone. As always, I'd like to thank you all for your votes and comments under my last post about Irene Fleming. I hope that she will be found soon. Today, I'd like to highlight a very recent disappearance case. Background: Jonathan Hoang was 21 when he went missing from Arlington, Washington, USA. He lived with his parents and one of two sisters. Jonathan was enrolled in a transition program at Weston High School in Arlington, meant to help disabled students. Jonathan was autistic and described to function on the level of 8 to 9-year-old. His parents acquired emergency guardianship over him, as it was determined that he will need some level of assistance his whole life. Jonathan's family gave him different opportunities to move away from home, while still having assistance in his daily life. But Jonathan preferred to stay with his parents. His older sister was ready to look after Jonathan when the time came. Jonathan was very much a homebody, and his home was the place he wanted to be. He never ran away or expressed any desire to leave. He was described as verbal, as he was capable of responding to his own name or having a simple conversation or asking for food, water, to use the restroom, but he struggled with problem solving or asking for complex help. Jonathan had sent his first text message only 2 weeks before he went missing. He learned that skill in his transition program in high school. Jonathan set up a personal email account with the help of his teachers. Shortly before he went missing, his teacher said that Jonathan lacked the executive functioning to create a personal email account without assistance. He didn't know how money works or how to read a map. He also didn't have a bus pass and didn't know how to drive. Jonathan was capable of eating food from the pantry, heating up prepared food, and making sandwiches, but he didn't know how to make food without assistance. He struggled with complex problem solving and had a tendency to shut down when stressed. His interests included walking, relaxing, and food and drink. Jonathan's favorite restaurants and food were Red Robin, Buffalo Wild Wings, Olive Garden, Starbucks, coffee stands, root beer floats, banana shakes, Lotus drinks, Italian sodas, and any kind of snack. When his loved ones asked him about what he wanted for birthday or Christmas, he often wanted to go out to eat. Jonathan was also a gamer. He had an iPad, though all the apps he used required parental permission to download. He also owned a Nintendo Switch. His favorite game series were Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros., and Legend of Zelda. Jonathan also loved Minecraft. His parents said that he didn't have a Roblox or Discord account. In the past, Jonathan has faced online bullying through his iPad. His family tried to convince him to stop engaging with people online. His other interests was cryptids and modern folklore. Jonathan liked to research them on YouTube, though he didn't have his own account. Jonathan's favorite books were Captain Underpants, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and Last Kids on Earth. He had a silly sense of humor and deeply loved the family dog, a Yorkie named Lady. Ever since he was a child, Jonathan preferred the company of adults over other children or peers. His social circle was very small. It only included his family, extended and immediate, teachers and school staff, his classmates, and his neighbors. He was encouraged to expand that circle, but he was quiet among strangers and rarely initiated a conversation. He was described as trusting and viewed all adults as authority figures. He'd often ask for permission to, for example, go on a walk when he was at home, or to drink water when he was at school. His father, Theo Hoang, said that his son was very submissive to figures of authority, and if an adult told him to do something, he'd do it. Like many autistic people, Jonathan didn't like loud noises, but he wasn't very reactive. His coping mechanism was isolation in cozy, quiet places, like his bedroom. When he got anxious, Jonathan usually went on a walk or paced. He had a habit of going on daily walks, always going by the same route from his home to the school bus stop and back. Jonathan never deviated from that route, and even crossed the street in exactly the same spots in exactly the same way. He was always respectful of other people's property and never left the road. Jonathan's family said that he was gentle, kind, funny, and so loved. Hoang described his son as a gentle soul, a happy, kind, polite young man with no ill feelings towards anybody. He just doesn't have anything bad ever to say about anybody. I think he always think the best of people. I wish I'm more like him am not. So I guess, in a nutshell, he's the kind of person that you wish there's more people or souls like him in the world. Disappearance Jonathan was last seen on the 30th of March at 7:30 p.m. at his home at the 18,500 block of 114th Drive in Arlington. He approached Thao, who was doing his daily run on the treadmill, and asked if he could sleep in the guest bedroom downstairs that night, arguing that the treadmill was noisy and that he won't be able to fall asleep. Thao said that the run will only take an hour and that he will be done before Jonathan's bedtime. After that, Jonathan went back to his room. Later that evening, Jonathan came to his father again and asked him if he can stay home from school tomorrow due to not feeling well. Thao told him that they'll see how he'll feel next day and decide then. Jonathan agreed and went to his room. Around 8 p.m., a few minutes after Jonathan last came to Thao, he tried to get downstairs. Thao, who was finishing up his treadmill exercise, asked Jonathan where he was going, to which Jonathan answered, "I'm going to bed," like he decided that he will sleep in the guest bedroom after all. Thao found it a bit odd, but didn't think much of it. Around 6:30 a.m. on the 31st, Thao got a call from his wife. She asked if he'll take Jonathan to the bus stop so that he could go to school. But Thao was already at work by then. The two hung up, but a few minutes later Thao's wife called him again, saying that Jonathan wasn't in his bed. Thao told her that he's probably sleeping in the guest bedroom. After another few minutes, Thao's wife called him again, saying that she can't find Jonathan anywhere. That is when Thao told her to call the police. Thao left work and went straight home. He arrived around 8 a.m. The police was already there when he got there. At some point during the night, Jonathan had left the house, most likely using the back doors. He left with his mother's slip-on shoes and his iPad, which was unusual, since he only took it outside for long car or plane rides. His family would have been notified if the iPad connected to Wi-Fi, but by the 2nd of April, police believed that it was out of battery. It's currently described as being lost mode. There has been no activity in any of Jonathan's known Apple, Google, or Microsoft accounts, and Apple was unable to track the iPad using the Find My app. Jonathan also left all of his jackets behind. It's unusual for him, as he always had one when outside, even in 90F30 to point to see heat. He used them as a sort of security blanket and pulled up the hood when he felt overwhelmed. A pair of wired earbuds he used when he used his iPad was also missing from home. An endangered missing persons alert went out on the 3rd of April, 5 days after Jonathan went missing. Local searches for Jonathan spanned for 10 days. They were called off due to a lack of leads. The SCO said that they followed up on all the leads and looked through the cell phone and computer Jonathan left behind at home, but found no interesting info. On the 23rd of June, Jonathan showed up on a security cameras of 3 homes in Kirkland, about 43.2 miles 70 kilometers from Arlington, in the South Juanita area near 105th Avenue Northeast and Northeast 112th Street, between 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. Jonathan appeared to be confused and lost, but is notably clean and groomed. He was also seen making vocal stims, repetitive sounds some autistic people make to calm themselves. Notably, one of the houses had a similar address to his home address. Jonathan was still learning his own address, but it seems plausible that he would be drawn to a home with a similar one and get confused, given the fact that it was in a different city. Conclusion: Jonathan's family believes that he was lured by someone and kidnapped. They don't want people to dismiss his disappearance as elopement, which some autistic people do, as Jonathan never showed that particular trait. He was always set into his routines and preferred being in familiar environments. The family believes that he was in Kirkland with someone, but they somehow split. Jonathan ran off, was released, or was allowed to walk up to the homes. They have stated that they harbor no ill will or malice towards his abductor, and that they only want their son and brother back. After the June sighting was confirmed, it's speculated that Jonathan was under the care of someone since the 30th of March to 23rd of June. From then on, he's either still under someone's care or he's on his own. It's technically possible, but highly unlikely, that he made it to Kirkland by himself. On the 11th of April, Jonathan's family filed a formal complaint against the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office regarding their handling of the case. In a chain of emails, a Snohomish County sergeant named it. William Westick told the Washington State Patrol's Missing and Unidentified Persons Unit that Jonathan is not being considered an endangered missing person, adding that he is able to effectively navigate public transit, which is blatantly false to anyone who knows Jonathan. The press and police have consistently referred to Jonathan as high-functioning, which might have distorted the way the public perceived Jonathan and how much support he actually required. Jonathan's family have contacted ICE, but they have stated that nobody fitting Jonathan's description or name is being held at one of their facilities. The family doesn't believe in psychics, tarot card readers, highly intuitive premonitions, visions, or any other metaphysical manifestations, and doesn't want their help, as they prefer to focus on concrete leads. There is a $100,000 reward for information leading to his location. Jonathan Hoang was 21 when he went missing and would be 22 now. He's a mixed-race white Asian man, 5 feet 10 178 centimeters, and 135 pounds 61 kilograms. He has brown hair and brown eyes. He has a large mole on his right inner forearm and 2 moles on the left side of his face. He walks with a distinctive gait, but this is more easily identified by those who know him. Sometimes Jonathan will walk with his hands held behind his back, or he will have them straight forward with bent arms and clenched fists. If you have any info about Jonathan's whereabouts, contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS 8477 if you see Jonathan. Take a photo or a video for eventual use later. Then approach calmly and ask him if he's Jonathan. If he confirms, call 911 and then contact Crime Stoppers in that order. Stay with him or keep him in your sight until help arrives. Keep in mind that he might be scared or confused. Tell him that you're here to help get home and see his family. Be calm and kind. Don't intimidate him. Don't assume that he's traveling alone. He might appear homeless, disoriented, or like he has mental illness. Occasionally, Jonathan will talk to himself. For more about how Jonathan might act in public or what his stims are, please check out the website his family set up. It's the last source on the list. Thank you.